Welcome, everyone, to our special call, our Zoom call with David Johnson, new Texans running back. I'm Mark Vandermeer. Thanks so much for being with us. And David, welcome to, I'll say, the show. We're putting out a show for everybody. We're taking questions from the season ticket members. How you doing? Welcome to Houston, digitally anyway.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm very excited. Can't wait to hopefully start with the organization soon and get a chance to meet everyone there.
How's it been going for you before we get started with fan questions, season ticket member questions? How's it been going for you and your family during this sheltering in place period we're all going through?
It's not too bad. Me and my wife Megan and our two kids, DJ in London, are out in Arizona hanging out, and the weather's not too bad, so can't complain too much. And really, the biggest thing is just trying to figure out ways to keep DJ active and not just sitting around watching shows all day.
Right.
We're being pretty creative.
Yeah, we're all substitute school teachers now, right?
I know, exactly. Always now we got to try to remember all math questions and stuff. So it's been fun though.
All right, well, let's get to some questions here from some season ticket members. Pamela is up first, and Pamela wants to know what excites you most about playing for the Texans. You talked about this a bit during your press conference earlier today, but how do you feel about playing for the Texans, and what does excite you about being a Houston Texan?
Felt great, very humble, very thankful that Bill O'Brien came out and got me. And I can't wait. I can't wait to get it started. Like I've been saying, they've always been in the playoffs. And now, especially with that offense, so dynamic, so many weapons. Deshaun at the head of it is, doing a great job, and he's young. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to get started, being utilized as not just a runner, but also a catcher, wide receiver type. And I know Bill O'Brien, he said he wants to do that. So I think it's going to be, another tremendous offense for all the fans, all the season ticket holders to witness this season, hopefully when it starts.
All right, Tasman from San Antonio has the next question, and it does relate to something you just said. Welcome to the family, and how do you think your skill set will fit in with the Texans? Everyone knows you're a really good receiver and running back, so that kind of versatility really helps out in attack.
I think I'll fit well, being utilized every down. I've been watching. I just got done watching, like I said earlier, the Bills game. And the way, not just that game, but also that season, I've been recapping a lot of the games. And Duke Johnson has been tremendous in being able to catch the ball at backfield. And so hopefully I can continue to be utilized the same way. And I think with my skill set, I'll be able to do that, not just line up in the backfield, but also as a receiver and have even more weapons on third downs when we need a big, play. A big momentum play, I'll be able to do that for the offense for sure.
What about playing with a quarterback like Deshaun Watson, where you've seen the plays? You say you've been watching games from the season. So sometimes when things break down, he goes off script a bit and everybody's got to keep their head on a swivel. What about that dynamic of the game, being alert at all times in case you get the football?
Oh, yeah, definitely got to be alert, especially when he scrambles. That's when when the play's broken down, that's when a lot of receivers actually get open because, the DB or the linebacker has to cover even longer, and usually they mess up, get out of gap, or mess up the coverage. And so with Deshaun's ability to avoid being sacked and, keeping his eyes downfield is going to be very crucial. So, when I go out as a receiver or whatever, I got to be ready to be able to move on the fly, change my route on the fly, and try to continue to get open.
All right, continuing to take some questions here from our season ticket members. Juan wants to know what you're looking forward to most about the city of Houston. What have you heard about Houston? Have you spent any kind of time here? Tell us about that part of it.
So I've heard great things about Houston. A couple friends have been there before, stayed there. And so I think the biggest thing I've heard is the barbecue. I love barbecue. So I'm going to definitely have to check out every barbecue spot down there. Great city. I've been there for the Super Bowl a couple years ago and loved it there. That was 2016, I think, when we went to Houston, and my son was just born. And we went out there as a family, and we really loved it, enjoyed it. Had a lot of things to do, a lot of things to sightsee, and it was really cool. Especially the stadium was really nice. And I loved the stadium when I went out there, and I'm very excited to get out there and join the community and help out the community.
We have a question later on from Luis about barbecue, but I wanted to ask you now, because you were born in Memphis, right? So Memphis barbecue, Texas barbecue. I mean, what are your preferences so far?
Oh, that's tough. I'll have to really compare them. I'll have to sit down and try them both out side to side and make sure I, give a good, thorough, detailed.
We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Daniel up next, and Daniel wants to know what you've been doing to stay in shape this offseason, because all these professional athletes have challenges. A lot of guys have told us it's like being back in high school or something. You're just trying to find anything you can do to stay in shape. How are you handling that?
That's exactly, now that you mentioned that, that's exactly how I feel. Back in high school, using the treadmill a lot of at-home workouts, me and my wife, and running in open fields in the community and trying to, get in shape that way. Luckily, it's a long time from the beginning of the season. Hopefully we'll get everything started and I can get down there in Houston and really meet the strength coach and, start working out with the offense, getting familiar with the teammates and all that. But right now, it's just a lot of at-home videos and running on the streets.
Whatever you can do. The DuPont family wants to know what makes you different from running backs of today, other running backs of today, and the greats of the past. I guess they're asking about style. And I'll throw another one on top of that, which is, who inspired you growing up as a running back? Who are some of your heroes at the position as well?
I think the biggest thing that makes me different is, even with my size and my athletic ability, is I'm able to be utilized as a receiver, not just running back. So I am going to be on the field more than just a traditional running back who's mostly there first and second down. And I think the way this NFL is starting to transition to more of a receiving type backs, I think I was one of the guys who made it popular again. And my biggest idol growing up was Matt Forte. I grew up in Iowa, actually. Born in Memphis, grew up in Iowa. And so I got to watch a lot of Matt Forte and at Chicago. And then my biggest idol, though, was Emmitt Smith, watching him being dynamic and effective for the offense, physical, catching the ball when needed, and being that, every running back's dream of running back, a young guy's dream of a running back. And so those are the two guys I watched a lot. But for me, I feel like I have the ability to catch the ball effectively, no matter if it's a safety, DB, linebacker on me, I'm able to get open. And then just running the ball, like I said, with my size and my deceptive speed, I would say, in the open field, and just be able to get open and be able to get sparks for the offense.
All right, Giles has a question here as we continue to take them from the season ticket members. Why do you like number 31? What's special about number 31 to you?
So for me, 31, it was a number coming out of college that didn't have too many options. And so it was like 31, 37, and 42. And so 31 was the best out of the numbers. And since I've had it, my whole career in the NFL, I wanted to keep it. And, it's part of my logo. It's part of who I am. And it's close to my heart. And so that's why I wanted to keep 31.
All right, Brian has the next question. How has your injury last year and the move to the Texans motivated you for this year? It's got to be a strange kind of thing, or it's not unique to being a professional athlete, but it does happen. So how has that motivated you?
Motivated me more than anyone would ever know. Just because, as much as I ignore a lot of it, you do hear, is he done for? Is he too banged up? And then everyone talks about the running back position being a short career in the NFL. And so my biggest thing is I want to prove all those guys wrong, all those people wrong. And I've been doing it, like I said, ever since high school, is proving people wrong. I didn't have the easiest come up of getting to the league. And so I know what it takes to continue the success, and I know what it takes to grind through all the adversity, and the motivation of having that chip on my shoulder is a huge thing for me. And I definitely will show all those, naysayers, show them up.
Okay, more questions here. More of a comment here from Robert. Glad we were able to bring you to Houston. Ready to tear it up? Try to plan this year's fantasy. So he's trying to plan his fantasy team. How much are you guys aware of that kind of stuff? And I know players sometimes talk about that, and you talk about your alma maters a lot. You talk about your colleges a lot. You went to Northern Iowa, so they probably, do they notice what Northern Iowa does? How do you handle those conversations in the locker room?
Does who notice?
Well, other players, because I know on Saturdays when you guys get together, it's all
no. I mean, no one even knows much about Northern Iowa. Only thing they might know is basketball. So football is really not spoken a lot. I try to help out getting Northern Iowa football spoken about more, but it's tough. It's tough, but I usually joke with guys and tell them that if I went to a different school, who knows, I probably would have been a first rounder. So guys from Northern Iowa know how to work hard. We had jobs in the summer. We had to grind through a lot of stuff and lift. So I think Northern Iowa taught me a lot of just being responsible and getting my work done, knowing how to create and be, effective with what's given to you. And so I joke a lot with a lot of guys and say how they've been pampered in D1 football. But man, fantasy ever since 2016 probably has been spoken to me the most out of anything. So I definitely heard a lot about fantasy. I still hear a lot about it. So hopefully, not hopefully, you know what? I am going to, whoever drafts me, I'll make them happy.
Okay. David, I stole his question about Deshaun Watson, his ability to make plays. We answered that. We're running out of time, so I want to skip to Jerry's question. Did you play any other sports in high school or college? And I think you played basketball, right, in Iowa?
Yeah, I played basketball, and then I ran track. So I was a mid-distance runner, 200, 400 runner. With my height, I couldn't get out of the blocks fast enough. I was probably stiff too. So I couldn't get out of the blocks. So I was a 204. And then for basketball, we were really a full court press team. There really wasn't a designated position 1 through 5. We were all probably about the same position. And we really were just a full press running gun type basketball team.
Okay, Michelle's question. What is your favorite NFL memory so far? What's your favorite one so far?
I would say my favorite would be getting into the Hall of Fame for that first 3 touches of touchdowns with kickoff return, receiving, and rushing. The only player to do that in his first 2 years for the first 3 touches of touching a football. That's definitely my most memorable and my most cherished as of right now, just because of, I was only a rookie, only 2 games in, and I was already in the Hall of Fame for something.
Well, David, we want to thank you for the time today. It's been really fun talking with you, and I know you've been busy all day talking to media, talking to us and the season ticket members and everybody associated with the Texans. Very excited to have you on board. We can't wait to see you at NRG Stadium this fall.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's going to be it for our season ticket member call with David Johnson. Can't wait for Texans football.